Bienvenue, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. First day back at work off of my 5-day vacay. Had a lot of fun visiting my folks in the Central Valley. A very strong pro-American, pro-working class vibe there. I really like it. The only downside is the sun lives there too, and it was hot as hell. Other than that, it was great. But I hate to break this to my wife, who I love very much, but I think I might be in love with somebody else. And that somebody is the state of Alabama. Man, you talk about batting 1,000. So now they've signed into law chemical castration. That's right, you rotten pieces of shit who commit sexual crimes against a child under 13 will now have to face a needle into your ball sack. Now, what this is going to do is supposed to stop the production of testosterone and take away their libido, their sex drive. Now, there are some people who don't think that this really does anything. They think it's more of a mental thing as to why people do this. But I believe that it helps. Unfortunately, we couldn't do it the old-fashioned way and cut their balls off with a rusty butter knife, because that's what they deserve. And believe it or not, of course, there are people who are against this, saying that it is inhumane and it goes against their basic human rights. Huh? You mean like the basic human right for a child not to be robbed of their innocence? Not to have one of the most horrible crimes possible committed against them? You mean like that basic human right? The moment you do something like that, you lose your basic human rights. Just like that child lost their innocence. Just like you damaged that child, now we have to take your basic human rights away because you don't know what to do with them. So we're going to take them for you. And we're going to make it so your balls don't work anymore. Now, like I said, and I can't remember the guy's name, but one of the officials in Alabama, he wanted to do it the old-fashioned way. He wanted them to have their balls cut off, which I'm fine with. Why not have some fun with it? You know, they have the Wheel of Fortune. We should have the Wheel of Misfortune. I'll host the show. Come jogging out there in my nice suit, the little long microphone with the tiny head on it, like they did back in the day. Wheel of Misfortune. We bring your disgusting ass out there, shackled. We spin the wheel. There'll be various tortures and means of death on there. I remember watching this show called Machines of Malice, and it was about forms of torture and death from the Spanish Inquisition. Those days, you know, they're really fucking people up, coming up with all these wonderful ways to torture and kill people. We could take from that book. We could create some new ones. One of my favorites is called the Brazen Bull. There's a life-size bull and it's made of copper. They open it up and put you inside, then they build a fire underneath it, and they slow roast your ass. You ever cooked a pork shoulder? Low and slow, right? That's what we do to these fools. Cook them. They had one where, you know, they stretch you on the rack, drawn and quartered, the classics. But like I said, we could update it for the millennials, maybe make an app. Everybody's walking around staring at their phones anyway. Let's get them involved. You can vote. How are we going to torture or end this piece of garbage's life? All else fails, we can put him in a room with the family members and a pair of rusty hedge clippers and see what happens. My point is, this is necessary. You deserve you deserve worse than this if you bring harm upon a child. And not only the perpetrator of the crime, let's get the supporting cast involved. If you're a disgusting whore mother and you allow bad men in and out of your child's life and they do something like that to your kid, let's find something for you. I don't want you to be left out. Equal rights, right? So if you're putting your child in a position to be harmed, you need to be harmed. You need to pay for that. Why not? You're not doing shit for your child anyway. Why do you need to be around? So let's come up with some ways to punish the people who helped this happen. If you're a piece of shit junkie, you're a dope fiend, and you're leaving your kid in crack houses, or you're renting your kid out to get your drugs, yeah, shit like that happens. Life is stranger than fiction. You couldn't make this shit up. If that happens, something needs to happen to you. You're the protector of your child. You're their first and last line of defense. And if you let them down, and this happens because of your bad habits and your poor decisions, you need to be fucked up too. Maybe even worse than the person who did it. You allowed them to be thrown to the wolves. So you need to hurt. I'm loving you, Alabama. I might have to put a ring on it. This is beautiful. But yeah, people are against it. Basic human rights. You're not even human. If you do that, you're a rotten piece of garbage. You need to be skinned and boiled. That shit is disgusting. It's our job as a community to protect children and to punish those who harm children, to send a clear message. If you harm the most vulnerable in our society, we need to bring you and pain together. I mean, nightmarish shit. Shit that's so bad that the people who are the officials, law enforcement, whoever's carrying this out, they're puking over the side. They can't even stand it. That's how bad it needs to be. This is a great start. I hope this is just step number one. I hope maybe they repeal it and like, you know what? We need to go with the old school, the physical castration, not just chemical, physical. Everything, that whole area, clean it out. It'll be like a male hysterectomy. Instead of it being internal, it'll be external. We're going to go ahead and make that a Ken doll crotch. You have a sister who had Barbie and Ken? Look at Ken's crotch, smooth, nothing. I'm cool with that. If we can do it in the most barbaric way possible. That is fucking disgusting, and there's no place for people like that in our society. You can tell a good society by the way they treat their women, children, and animals. Hell, we can get animals involved. You got these pit bulls and shit that are going to be put down. Why? Give them a job. Trump's good at giving out jobs. Let's give the dogs a job. Let's throw some kibbles and bits on their crotch and let them go nuts. Let's not feed them for a day or two so they're nice and hungry. You ever put a bowl of food, a bowl of canned dog food down in front of your dog? They eat that shit like you haven't fed them in a week. All I'm saying is, let's get creative. Let's put our minds together and punish these monsters. Now, people, you notice in the background, it's stop and go. That means I'm in traffic. That means I'm about to hop in the rat race. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell, utilize the PayPal link and the Teespring link. That's right, people. Get your green gear. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.